wait for his PA to be ready to be able to actually get this combo activated.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. You do have good progress for Carl though. I think they're gonna be riding on the momentum. He'll bring 200 gold off the blink. So Slardar Blink gonna be a big one. You can play around with Raging as well. He can come in for the burst damage to help you follow up. And that's gonna be how Execration has to buy the space. They just need to maybe find a couple of pickoffs with that combination. Maybe wait out BDZ's blink as well, but that's pretty optional with a Slardar. Cool.
Bounty Rune's gonna spawn up. Hook shot in from Barry, right onto BDZ. He'll get him in the cogs as well. There's Yamate with the damage output, and they do get one. Now Raging. He blinked into them once again on the quap, and is gonna pay for it. With that DDZ, he's looking for a bit more. They're gonna spot out RR, but he's TPing. They need a cancellation, but the Ice Path not gonna be out in time, and RR will be able to get away with his life intact, but well, you still lost 2 heroes here for Execration. It's just not great news.
It's definitely not. And this is the one beauty as well of the new Esports draft. They've got pretty low cooldowns. Everything except Egg really just doesn't take too long to be back, so they can keep playing this aggressive. They've gotten space to push that tier 1 top. Tree and Protector, you know, he's supposed to stall these pushes out. Not that much slower than you'd expect. He's spamming it out, but there's a siege creep. Yamate hits like a truck. They're just gonna lose these first few towers. They're gonna have to try to stave off that push if they want to stall out.
Well, we're gonna be careful. Carl gonna TP in, but a nice Ice Path from Mosin. Still BDZ on the chase. Carl, he's gonna miss the stun, but they have got the Jakiro now. Candy might want to fight back here. The Sunray is out trying to help on this Jakiro. Yamate, meanwhile, going to turn around onto BDZ, and another nice egg coming out from our Phoenix. Barry, he's going to miss the hook shot on Carl. It looks like they don't realize Carl's still there, so he's going to jump back in onto Yamate, but this may have been a bad idea, as Yamate is hitting way too hard, and they are going to keep chasing. They know he's in the tree line. In fact, Raging, also caught out, will go down, and now Carl is gone. No way out on that Slardar. Every team fight Execration takes just continues to work in the favor of new esports.
The execution of Execration is just not going all too well. It looked like they were bailing out, you know, like they managed to get Raging out. Carl was just hiding in the tree line, but they come back in. They're not respecting the power here from new esports. There's just a lot of damage, low cooldowns, a lot of uptime. So if you try to re-engage, you can bet a couple of those spells are going to be back up and ready to go.
He doesn't want to die like this, John. Palos is in danger, but Overgrowth going to be committed by RR. And it looks like Barry's going to be left behind. Now Raging can have a go at DDZ. Has one Remnant and will commit it to get out of there. Does also pop the drums, but Raging wants to keep going. We'll eventually have to let him go, and it was a very deep dive to try for new esports, and they do have to sacrifice their clockwork for nothing.
Yeah, you have to be cautious about bleeding kills like that away, especially if Palos finds them. He does have the Battle Fury up, and this is the point where the PA farm skyrockets. BKB's going to be next, and Raging lock him in.
Oh, Raging's gone. Chains and Ice Path once again out from Mosin and DDZ. That is, it's been a tough game for Raging on this Queen of Pain offlane. He has died in unfortunate ways, and with his death, that mid-tier 1 tower is set to drop.
Yeah, no defense for that one. It's a wait and see game for Execration. They just need the BKB up in their PA. We've seen PAs bounce massively back once the BKB timing's lined up. You have to hope, though, that Yamate is not going to find an MKB in that downtime. If the BKB lines up with the Lifestealer MKB, it's not going to do you much good. The control is still going to be there. The damage is still going to be there. Have to be cautious and have to really just focus in on the farm. Just stay away from fights for Palos. Stay safe.
It's getting problematic, though. I mean, you talked about the MKB on that Lifestealer. He has it up soon. Somewhat. I mean, he's still a fair bit of gold off, but there's your Javelin now coming out on Yamate. Still top of the net worth board on this Lifestealer, and if things keep up as they have been, well, like this, Palos is going to get caught, does use the blur, but he's been Ice Path and in the macro pyre and has no one to blink to. They just abandoned him. BDZ not sticking around for the blink strike out. What's your position 1 gone again?
That's not what you want to be seeing. His BKB should still come first compared to that MKB, so it's not going to be too bad, but it's still a very rough time. There's not that big of a window where you're going to have the BKB without the MKB in play. You're going to need to be cautious. There's a disarm up as well on
Nice
Yamate.
hook shot.
Ooh.
Yeah, they got RR. Well, that's going to be a 20-minute bounty runes as well. Going to the way of New Esports. I believe they've gotten all 4 of them, in fact. And they have. That's a big influx of gold.
Yeah, it widens that lead to 6K for New Esports, 7-14 at the 20-minute mark, and Execration. And we talked about the potency of Slardar PA. It's still potent. They just need to play as a team. They need to protect Palos, give him these stacks, which he's finding. Once the BKB is up, you have to smoke. You have to go for that smoke play. But look at this. Barry sees that farm.
Big disconnection now from Execration, however. 4 heroes disconnecting at the same time.
Oh, boy. Not a good spot, Mike.
No.
Barry sees that. They've got a lot of heroes in that triangle.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Palos. He's going to reconnect and maybe not realize that that he has been pinged out. Luckily for him, though, Barry does not have the hook shot available. So there's no real way to close the gap here. So I don't believe... Yeah, DDZ is not in range to get a good remnant off. Palos should be okay to blink strike back to BDZ. They may still lose that tier 2 tower up at that top lane, as it does seem like Yamate wants to commit. So it might be a little bit early from New Esports to commit, considering they are still working towards that MKB. But he might just feel very confident with that Heaven's Halberd and Armlet up right now. Just understanding Palos melts so quick to the control without a BKB up. But he does have the gold for it.
Yeah, it's going to be out. So you do have to be aware of that power spike that's going to come out. There are certain aspects here for the PA that aren't nice, though. So the PA will not really enjoy building into an MKB, but you're not going to have a choice because that evasion now in Yamate is just going to be a bit more annoying. You want your damage to be...
What the f just happened?
What? Carl? What's that? What is that, Carl?
No swearing, Carl. Jeez, we're on stream, sir. No cussing. The connections are back. Pings are still coming out for Palos, but I really don't believe they'll be able to get up there with him. There's just no way to close the gap here. Surely not.
No, they've got a haste on DDZ, but not enough time. Unless BDZ walks away and leaves Palos alone, that would be a dicey situation. If he just decides to tap the blink, go home. Right, I'm out. You're on your own, Palos. Not what you want, though. That's not the... Don't do that.
I mean, he could. He did do it when they were chasing him down at the bot lane.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not ideal, but we are ready to go, so we'll find out. Yep.
DDZ, he's not going to pop the haste. And yeah, Palos is out of there. He's fine. The question is now, do New Esports want to make this push happen? BDZ going to show himself for a second, but does blink away, and for New, do appear to want to try.
It's important to just push as much as you can. You're dealing with a Treant that doesn't have Meteor Hammer, so the split push game isn't quite there for Execration. That's your window. Because the towers will heal up, sure, but you're not receiving the same pressure on lanes. That's what's important. And that just means, you know, you can stall all you want, but if you're not making progress of your own on towers, it doesn't really matter.
The ruin of haste.
Raging. We're going to spot out DDZ running past, but he does have that haste rune active right now. Bit of a hard kill to go for. Raging, he just blinked and they saw it. Got another one up. Blinks straight into Candy Loon now. Candy can't hold him down, but they're going to go down towards that bot lane where a great hook shot is there from Barry. right onto Palos, and DDZ going to be there to back him up with the chains. They lose Mosen across the map, but who cares about that? You got the PA again.
Not good news for Execration. Just losing pilots like this is never a good feeling. Always just in the wrong spot. Surprised they ignored the top jungle, because no one plays there. Not even new Esports. That's the safest part of the map for Execration. They just haven't gotten the wards there.
Raging. Conked up. And Remnants forward from DDZ. They'll get the chains. Does have a blink back up and has the Yules available. Should be just fine. You do need the hookshot follow-up from Barry to really lock down Raging. As it stands, new Esports, 6k net worth lead. Everything's still going swimmingly for them. And the MKB is soon to come out on Yamate, probably about a minute away at max.
And that's where it gets scary if you're the PA. You're gonna be ripped apart by the lifesteal, and that's that awkward timing between these two. And it's something that's always been awkward for the PA lifestealer. Like, there's a moment where PA is super strong, and then there's a moment when the lifestealer is absolutely wrecking face, and it's a very sensitive back and forth. We'll have to see how it unfolds. You still have the corrosive play that can come out, and there is a smoke here from Execration.
There is an infest out on Barry. They seem to know, and they'll counter smoke. They do scan out one. That's going to be Palos in the blur on the PA. Barry loses courier. That was the Solar Crest going down. And now they'll go. Macro is out. Nice hook shot in, but the egg has been committed from our Phoenix, and nobody is going to focus it down. So new Esports, they keep rushing in after BDZ now. And that'll be your tiny gone. They just can't fight back.
No. They didn't get the opening they wanted. Their smoke broke, but they were forced to jump in. That was a 10-second BKB charge of Palos. Not the best use of the item. And they don't lose their biggest cores in Carl and Palos, but they lose Raging Potato, they lose their two supports. They start to lose their tier 2 top. No, it is gone. And new Esports, they're the ones running the Treant. They still have 2 outer towers, but the progress new Esports have made on the map is a cause of concern, right? Like, there's that MKB now as well. So you've got the damage, you've got the wave piercing through that evasion on Yamate. The power spike on our PA, I'm not sure how long you can really expect it to be relevant.
Well, Roshan's going to get down very, very quickly here. Because they have Barry there with the medallion to make things faster, but they aren't going to finish as side of Execration were coming in. Roshan very low. Here, they'd love to get a pick off right now to confirm this Roshan play.
This should make my life easier.
No, they're going to go back in. They're going to try and steal it. Just finish it ASAP. It's going to be in Palos. BDZ. Going to jump in. An avalanche. They need to go quick. And Carl is in, but Yamate has the Aegis. And that'll be Carl probably going down to the Slanner. And now Ara also going to be chased by DDZ. And everyone else from Execration is just on the run. A good attempt from Carl, but it does not pay off.
Didn't really line up as well. He has his BKB now, if he needed it in that fight, if he wanted to steal. Barry as well, very good spot to hook in. Broke off the potential initiation of the Treant and the PA. Not giving that overgrowth, just not quite the execution you want from Execration. That does give new Esports the chance to push these tier 2s, and that they will. They're just going to be able to shove it in. They've got DDZ shoving in the other waves that Raging is trying to keep out. And that means if they wanted to, at some point, new Esports can start to look at that high ground.
They'll get started. Again, with that Solar Crest up, it does make it very easy for Yamate to just go through these towers. You'll see BDZ, he's there just creep skipping at the moment, trying to make it harder for this mid lane to be pushed in. But new Esports, they can take their time. They've got an 8k net worth lead. It's only 26 minutes into the game. They might even try to go for some kills soon as Raging continues to just blink around the map. They'll take the outpost. Raging got to be careful as DDZ. He just spotted him out barely, but they're not going to be able to keep up with Raging. He'll be fine.
Yeah, this is giving time here for pilots to finish up that Desolator on PA, so it's going to be up. You're going to have a lot of minus armor coming up. You're going to have level 3 coup de grace soon, about half a level away. Those are some things that you definitely have to wait. Don't force the fights right now while you don't have that level 3 ult, while you don't have that desert. You need it. You need damage to really find at least a couple of key kills. The supports, if you take out the Phoenix, for example, before the fight breaks out, you don't have to worry about the egg. Those are important targets for Execration to try to get the jump on.
Bot lane, they're going to try and force this push to happen. 2 Desos, in fact, coming out. Now, DDZ has one on the Ember. They just want to amplify this push. Make it that much quicker. Make it that much harder for this Creed to get this defense going. Well, Carl going to jump in for a double stun. Yamate has the Aegis. He's feeling very confident. Kalos going to be there. They're actually going to force back the side of New Esports for now. Yamate was getting a little bit low there on the lifestealer. Doesn't want to just feed the Aegis away. But the tower is on such low HP, I don't really think you want to leave it like this. It's just going to be healed up to the max if it is, and they are looking for a way in.
Yeah, you don't want to give it a chance for the Treant to keep healing it up. A lot of caution, though, and this is where it gets annoying. You know, it's basically like you have a repair kit. In fact, if they had a repair kit, they'd be better off.
Naturally. Toss back onto Yamate, but he does get the rage up in time. Still stun and Sonic Wave being thrown up, but Barry gets a good hook shot in. There goes your Aegis, but RR is going to drop, and so does Raging Potato. They will buy back on all 3 heroes that did die. Now back onto Yamate. He is very low, but does get the invest off in time. Still a nice avalanche toss onto DDZ. They want to try and clean up. Barry as well on the run of the clockwork. Should go down, and does. But DDZ, he's actually got no remnants available. So they might actually be able to catch up to him. But no Raging. Doesn't seem to know where he is. The Ember Lifestealer will be okay.
Yeah, not the biggest losses for New Esports. They did force 3 buybacks out. They got the tier 3. So they got the objective they were looking for. You know, it's always a uphill battle when you're against that. Although
he went in for the 30-minute bounty rune, and again, can't blink in like that without vision.
No. Greedy. It's how many times has he actually died in that exact area in the triangle? It's been a lot where he's just kind of playing there and gets punished. So not ideal. Still Execration are in a decent spot. They didn't lose racks. They still have the Treant to play around with that. They're looking for the...
Oh, Barry. Hook shot in onto BDZ. BDZ made it a little bit obvious that he was in that tree line. With those 2 heroes down, John, they don't have buyback, which does mean Yamate, with his brand new AC up, should be able to get this bottom push going again.
Yeah, it's going to be a really quick one as well. You've got a lot more damage coming out. You've got the control, and it's tricky. They're trying to split up top, but, you know, DDZ just clears it out, and then they're already at bot. There are no buybacks left, remember?
There are not. We're gonna make quick work of this. Well, Execration, no defense to come out. So New, they might just go to the mid lane now, understanding they're getting all this for free. They feel confident enough for this. Raging's being a little bit annoying here, pulling the creep wave away. Barry is looking for a hookshot opportunity, but Raging should be too far away, and is now. But they want to get the kill on the Quap. They are posturing around the Queen of Pain and Raging. Blinking in, Yamate spots him out now with the Rocket Flare. Doesn't really have an Abyssal Blade yet, but a great hook shot in from Barry. He TP'd back to that bot tier 1 tower, and Raging is going to die.
Oh man, Carl now as well.
He's going to try and fight this one out. Palos, he's going to jump in as well with the BKB, but a nice ice path now from Mosin. Now the egg to be committed. How do you fight into this? Palos, he does get DDZ, but it may cost him. Mosin will get the Yules off, and they should have control with the ice path to kill off Palos, and now chase down Carl on the Slardar. And they will. Nice stun out from Carl, but it's not going to matter. Even BDZ still being chased down by our position 5 Jakiro. Mosin just trying to get the creep wave back into the Radiant base. They are going to go for another big push.
Yeah, excellent win for New Esports. Unfortunate that they had to lose DDZ, but you can see the power disparity between Yamate and Palos. Like, they're equal in farm. But Yamate's got one step up, right? He's got the MKB, plus he has evasion from his talent, from his Heaven's Halberd, from that Solar Crest, and there's no MKB in Palos. So even if he did stand and fight, he would lose because he would not hit, and Yamate would get all of his in. So mid rack's gone, can set their sights onto the top racks, no problem, and the options here for Execration, it's shrinking. They're going to need to pull off a pretty good team fight to keep that defense up.
Well, they're going to take their time here, New Esports. Again, no rush for him. So you still have room to grow for Yamate. He does have the Abyssal being worked on as we speak, and that's really the nail in the coffin, right? Once you've got the Abyssal Blade, you finally got the control to lock down Palos whenever you want and not get kited around. And I just don't see a way Execration has to deal with this.
They've got to be able to jump those heroes first. They need to take the control of New Esports out. They need to take the egg out. Good luck, Barry.
Yeah, Carl, gonna get jumped on. Barry is going to be there with the hook shot. Carl, even with the BKB, going to have to just make a run for it. Looks like he is going to be okay. But this is just kind of what we've been, what Execration have to do now, is just keep split pushing. It's not fun, but it does buy you more time. Oh, matters are still getting worse though. Candyloon has a refresher orb now. So you got double egg to worry about and triple of all the other spells.
Yeah, it's that's not gonna be a good time. Even the Ags is up and running for DDZ, so he's gonna be a lot more mobile on that Ember. You do have the Satanic up in Palos, so it's slightly trickier to keep him locked in. And he will have some burst healing available if he just stands and fight. But the Abyssal, as you mentioned, coming out for Yamate is going to be big. He got the Vanguard first, and he's blocking some damage off. It just makes it harder and harder to flex your muscle as a PA. There's just so much durability here from New Esports that even a Corrosive Haze doesn't feel like it's enough.
Well, he has the Divine Rapier queued up now on Palos, but even then I don't think that's enough, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem like the damage is the problem. It seems like staying alive is going to be the main issue here for Palos. And, well, mid lane, Raging. It's gone. He's doing what he can, but yeah, he's not working out.
Nothing good. 3 to 10 on the Quap. And he does get the sacrificial lanes. This does fit into Raging's playstyle, right? He sacrifices himself as a core to give Palos space. It's not looking good though. Like, he's severely underfarmed. He does have the Guardian Greaves, the Urn, and Duels. So he has some ways of keeping himself alive, but it's not gonna help as the Roche just melts way too fast in New Esports. Aegis and Cheese going away now, so 2 lives up. Execration, 1 less set of racks. They've got to play this one perfect.
That they do. Back to that top lane. Just so hard to imagine being able to deal with this this Refresher Orb Phoenix, and even the Aghanim Scepter DDZ now on the Ember. It's going to be much, much harder to catch out. Yamate just just going to happily go up to that high ground. All about buying more time. He's got a lot of damage, Palos, but he just doesn't have a chance to get that damage out. He's going to try to blink in onto Yamate. Again, it's a lot of damage. Ice Path, however, he's been locked in. Remnant forward, they missed the hook shot from Barry, but they get a nice toss back. In fact, that was actually BDZ tossing Palos in. A nice overgrowth to lock them all down, but DDZ does not care. He'll go after BDZ and RR, both without buyback. And now after the final lane of Barracks, in fact, there's the chains out onto Palos. You get your Sonic Wave from Raging Potato, but it's not going to matter. Palos is going to fall, and he does not have buyback available. They are still going to try and defend this in a 3v4.
Ooh, it's a difficult proposition. Just not enough. Like, again, you saw it, you said it. Damage isn't the issue. It's staying alive, and there's that Basher now for Yamate. I believe that is the full Abyssal as well once it's there, so gotta be cautious about that in this defense.
They're just going to go taste Raging Potato down. Yamate is the only one hitting the tier 4 towers at the moment. They're actually going to have an avalanche toss. Yamate, he'll be okay. Hook shot in from Barry. Hit easy. Finish off that one tier 4. Carl now going to get slowed up with the Abyssal out from Yamate. BKB up, goes back after the Lifestealer. In fact, a nice toss back onto Yamate, but he is just too tanky. He will not die to the fountain. Gets the infest, and now we'll just get a free reset. And Raging is going to jump back in. The DDZ will follow. Gets the chains off, and that'll be your Raging Potato gone. And RR with a dieback, and now they're just diving the fountain. BDZ, it's not very safe. Will survive, but that Ancient is very, very low. Yamate's just going to pop the Rage. He's had enough. He gets the Abyssal onto Raging one more time, gets the kill on the Quap, and then gets the GG call out from the side of Execration. And New Esports will get game number 1.
Oh yeah, that is breaking the mold there for this matchup. We talked about it from the draft, but these two teams have played against